Talking about Ukraine, after yet another massive Russian missile strike on Kyiv, President Trump confirmed his intention to impose new sanctions on Russia. However, he also admitted he is not sure if these sanctions actually will bother Putin. And from your perspective, will the Kremlin really feel the heat this time?
Well, that really depends on what kind of sanctions are going to be enacted. And if we look at the situation, I mean, this is like an equation with many unknowns. The biggest unknown is, well, what exactly will be the sanctions? Trump has so far given only indications. He's made threats, but he's made threats on many other things before, and then he didn't actually come to action. In other cases, like bombing Iran, for example, yes, he did actually, his actions were a lot worse than his threats before. So, we don't know what's going to happen. But a big unknown, if indeed Trump imposes these secondary sanctions with possibly 100% tariffs on goods from countries that still trade with Russia, particularly buy energy, especially oil from Russia. So that's the big question. The country that buys 80% of Russian oil is China. Now, of course, U.S. secondary sanctions against China would be incredibly painful for China. They would also be, by the way, incredibly painful for U.S. consumers. But the trick here, the snag, if you want, for Trump is that the U.S. are at the moment in very, very delicate trade negotiations with China. And we have seen in other cases, for example, on Taiwan policy, how Trump has actually gone soft in recent weeks vis-a-vis the Chinese government, because he doesn't want to rock the boat, as the saying goes. He doesn't want to disturb the possible deal that may be on the cards with China. And that makes me doubt whether he really will seriously impose 100% tariffs on China because they buy 80% of Russian export oil. So, it's anybody's guess, but in the end, we do not know what Trump is going to do.
Interestingly, Donald Trump himself admits these sanctions might not really impact Russia. And as we've seen, even his ultimatum to Putin to end the war hasn't changed much. Russia keeps cynically targeting civilians in Ukraine. Just recently, a missile strike on Kyiv killed 31 people and injured 159. If sanctions and ultimatums haven't worked, what will? And is it time for Washington to rethink its entire pressure strategy?
Well, to start with the last question, I think Washington has been developing in a healthy direction, at least rhetorically. It also has, for the first time since the inauguration of the new administration, actually announced new deliveries of U.S. weapons to Ukraine, financed by Europeans. But that's a positive step forward. So I would say that not a rethink, but a continuation of the direction which U.S. policy has already taken in the past couple of months vis-a-vis Russia. And to come to your first question, what will work? Well, only a combination of things. And here two things stand out. And these are both economic sanctions that really bite. And of course, also stepping up military assistance to Ukraine. And both things combined, I think, may very well still change the picture, but a guarantee there is not.